Case study: Exploring Playground Design. This is Marcus, and he wanted to do a personal interest project about playgrounds. He asked himself, how would I design and create my perfect playground? And then he formulated his project idea. I will design blueprints, a miniature model, and promotional material for my own version of a perfect playground. Then he scheduled time to explore in a whole bunch of ways. First, he played around on playgrounds, and then he organized his ideas using a mind map. And then he searched a variety of keywords online: playgrounds, playground design, trends in playground design, natural playgrounds, award-winning playgrounds. He also searched images and read comments on blogs and forums. He searched YouTube videos, and he got in the habit of bookmarking at least 5 new relevant websites a day. He also created a Pinterest board so he could visually track his favorite things that he saw online. And then he got out into the field again for more primary research as he visited and photographed numerous playgrounds, but now with deeper understanding. And of course, he played some more and made notes on location, gathering various data. He got up close to analyze the features and see things from new angles, and he made sketches of new ideas. And one day he went to a bookstore just to browse the magazine section and flip through books on landscaping and construction. And then he visited the public library, browsed the aisles, and asked a librarian for some help. And she opened up his thinking, showing him archives and pictures of past playgrounds, and also by asking him if he was designing more with natural or human-made materials, which really got him thinking. And he was especially inspired when he found some books on treehouse design. Another day, Marcus wanted to learn more about building, so he went down to the hardware store. He looked at tools and priced out lumber and fencing options, and flipped through catalogs and brochures that were stocked there by some playground vendors. He checked out the paint department and considered the impact of color and took home some sample paint chip combinations that he really liked. Now another day, Marcus explored a garden supply store, and it was full of good stuff. He got ideas and information about trees and shrubs, flowers and plants, water features, even fairy gardens. And he priced out quantities of sand, bark mulch, and pea gravel, all as like a soft landing place for his playground equipment. And he even thought about driftwood as a play feature when he saw a giant pile of it sitting there for sale. Now, this garden supply store also sold miniature outdoor railroad supplies. And they even had a lush mini golf course set up. And so he just had so much to work with. And after all of these trips out, Marcus felt increasingly excited and wanted to share his project work. So he involved his friends in brainstorming ideas and then compiled their thoughts. The next day, he gave his classmates a survey to fill out to indicate their preferences in playground features. And the results were really interesting. A number of students suggested things like ramps and different levels to make the playground fun for everyone. And so he considered equity and accessibility issues in more depth. It was also really great to just tell people about his project because now they had so many ideas for how to help him. He even got some mentorship by a university engineering student because this was somebody's big brother who was home for spring break and had some time to talk with him. And Marcus felt especially lucky when he job shadowed an architect for a day. Her name was Carol, and she was the mom of one of his classmates. And he even conducted interviews with Carol and a few staff members at her design firm. Of course, he prepared questions, took notes, made audio recordings, and transcribed the discussion. And he was just learning so much. And he knew that there were times he needed to take time to process his learning with just walks in nature, just to get a brain break. And then, of course, new thoughts would come, and he kept track of them with an ongoing log of new questions whenever they occurred to him. his ideas did crystallize, and he got more creative, and he painted an aerial view of a few ideas and learned more about how to make blueprints for his designs. Marcus had a lot of great information accumulating, so he kept his research materials neatly organized in a color-coded filing system, and he kept neat electronic files too, with all his typed notes, photographs, and audio clips. And he kept track of his sources in growing a bibliography. He could see that his research was really looking professional now. And it was so much fun just experimenting and building models and exploring in new ways. And through all this, he just stayed focused, stayed curious, open-minded, adventurous, inspired, driven, perseverant, just like an explorer. And do you think his exploring helped him to have a better project in the end? Absolutely. Now do you see? There are just so many ways to explore with your own personal interest project. So get out there, have fun, and explore.